built these websites. This is really good. I was like, I have a little bit of background in coding. I learned a lot from my MySpace days of just customizing my own page.
Shout out to MySpace. What was the dude on MySpace?
Tom.
Where you at, Tom?
Tom.
Bro. Community is important. People are important in every aspect of our life. If you're sick, if you don't have people near you, but they're telling you how to get better and giving you medication, your chances of recovery are a lot lower. Let's take it a step farther. 1 year ago, we were able to talk to each other in English, right? Now I can call someone in China. It's actually going to translate my voice into Chinese, and when they talk, it's going to translate it back into English.
Which is awesome.
That just broke the barrier, bro.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Cam and Joe Show. My name's Joe with my good friend Cam. What's up, bro?
What's up, big dog? Happy Friday, man.
I know, man. It's a good time. So if first time watching, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you can keep track of what we're doing.
Not only that, chime in on the comment section. I want this to be a living, breathing fan favorite. I want you guys to be able to chime in. What are some topics that we've hit on that you guys have enjoyed? And what are some topics that you guys would like for us to be able to hit on? I think that's hugely important.
And which giggle do you hate the most? I don't really laugh. I giggle. And you do. Do you laugh like a mountain?
I'm mostly just, if you watch any 5 minutes of any of our podcasts, it's mostly just Joe talking and me going, and wow.
What do you
like most of our conversations.
Well, good thing it's not about me or Cameron this morning. This morning we have an amazing guest. It's Jake from State Farm. I'm kidding, it's not. It is
I like it.
Jake from Electric Playground. So he does, and you know what? I'm not even going to say it. Jake, tell us what you got, man.
What's going on, guys? Jake Living Good here. I'm with Electronic Playground. We do marketing. We're in the Yube Sutter area, and our goal is to help small businesses do big things.
Perfect. Small businesses do big things. So tell us about the small beginnings of the big things you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, we work with a lot of different types of businesses. We work with some of them that are just kind of opening the door. They might not have a logo, might not have a website, and they just really have an idea. So we sit down with them and we collaborate and figure out what they need to cross to get that business alive. And then we offer a lot at Electronic Playground, whether we build your website or whether we sit down and help you build flyers for your grand opening. We just try to be really involved.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
From when should somebody, if somebody has an idea of create a new business, how far off the ground should they get it before they seek you out? I mean, because some people, they probably have to course correct, or they're a year in or 2 or 3 in, and they think, oh man, okay, maybe my branding isn't great, and now we have to pivot. Wouldn't it be easier for somebody to come in, see you guys up front, so they're not having to pay for the mistakes just to pay to correct it?
Yeah, I learned recently not to hold on to your ideas very long
Sure.
and share them.
Sure.
So if you're thinking of starting a business or you have a business and you're just holding on to that information yourself, collaborate with me, collaborate with family, bring it to the table, and let them work on the other 50% of the business too. And that's kind of what we want to do too. If you have an idea of a business, bring it to me. I can look at running models and we can look at how to get yours going.
You don't have to use specifics, but what has been a difficult trial? Like, what is a business that you're like, oh, I thought we had a slam dunk, and then it was like, pivot, and you're all, oh, that's way different.
Bro.
Bro.
I think the hardest one for me, and I always like a good challenge, was online wig store.
Oh.
It's very competitive online, and you just really need to know what you're doing on there. And then it's a lot about trend too. So build the website, build the marketing, and then you need to put yourself forward, and wear those wigs and show them off. So it takes a lot to get something like that off the ground, and there's a lot of really good competition.
So is there a lot of good pictures of you in a wig?
There are not good pictures. There are a lot.
Well, how is yours holding up? I mean, because you've been with wigs on pigs for how many years now?
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm Italian. Guess what? We don't have balding problems.
And then you like grab it and like, the reveal is like it's like flapping in the wind.
Why you see my windows are never down when I'm
exactly. It's a convertible, Joe. No, it's not.
Yeah, I can imagine on that website build. I mean, how many products were on there? How many different wigs?
It was over 200 different products.
Oh my gosh. For those of you who don't know how that, and I do understand, I've done some website stuff. You have to build out every product item with images and details and shipping information and metadata so that it all links together. So when you hit that cart, it puts the information out there.
And not only that, the behind the scenes, the wireframing for the website, it has to tell the story.
Absolutely.
You have to think about the landing page and front facing or consumer facing. Okay, if I get here, am I instantly like, oh, so much going on, I'm out? Or, okay, the story is told from the first image, and then you have options, and then you open the chapter of the book, and then you go down avenues and hallways. Do you guys go all the way into the actual code, the actual wireframing of those websites?
So that's a lot of my role is I do the development, and then I train people to do design and hire out and contract.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
So pretty much we like to call it the bones. I'll get the bones in place.
Yeah.
And then I'm training one of our older sons to start working on that process for me so I can move along to something else.
Awesome.
Hey, you know what? Give him something to do.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's totally his style. He doesn't want to do design, but when I told him about like implementing code and just having the same structure every single time to get a website ready, he liked that.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
I could totally see him being all that. So you mentioned that Electric Playground wasn't a thing. It was a thing, and then it kind of fizzled, and then it came back. Why did it? What was the whole beginning phase? What was that? And you can be as open or as closed as you want to be. But.
Yeah, no, I like telling the story. You know, Electronic Playground stemmed from Cameo Aerosmith, my business partner, my life partner.
Yeah.
She was in sales doing print marketing with the Yellow Pages. And there was, at the time, a huge growing need for digital websites, for digital advertising. And for our area, we're still kind of small. We didn't have a lot of options. So it was usually having to trust someone in a different city or going without it. So again, there was a huge need. So she was able to fill that pretty quickly to gain just website clients.
That's awesome.
And a little bit of Google AdWords, the pay-per-click, which is a little more archaic at the time.
Yeah.
So fast forward, she's had some of her clients this whole time, some really nice reputable businesses in the area. But we were both doing sales during COVID because we have sales backgrounds.
Sure.
Telling Cam this a little bit. And we just started dreaming a little bit, dreaming about, creating a better life, dreaming about creating a revenue of income, and getting what we wanted out of life. And it didn't seem like that was going to happen working that hourly job or working, being stuck even in her own business. She owned a candy store and she's at that register, 40 hours a week. You can't grow when you put yourself in a position like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We wanted to grow. So we looked at her business plan and I was like, man, you built these websites. This is really good. I was like, I have a little bit of background in coding. I learned a lot from my MySpace days of just customizing my own page.
Shout out to MySpace. What was the dude on MySpace?
Tom.
Where are you at, Tom?
Tom, save us.
Yeah. So we took on a couple clients. They came really easily. It seems like it was meant to be for the websites. And then we just kind of get the ball rolling. We started networking, getting involved in the chamber, just really letting people know, kind of like a grassroots marketing for ourselves, just letting people know who we are, getting in front of them, and giving them reason to want to work with us. And then the main thing was the quality of our work. It was always making sure that what we were doing was getting better and it was effective and efficient for the client. A lot of times people get a website or they get marketing and their biggest complaint is it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and then aesthetics are way off because they just threw it through a template runner, and then the overhead cost that they're going to charge. Like I'll tell you, when we opened the coffee shop, it was everyone was like, hey, we'll build a website for you. Hey, we'll do this. Hey, we'll do this. Hey, we'll do this, and we just said yes to everything right off the get.
Yeah.
Well,
you're new to it, so you're going to.
Yeah, and we had other business people. You got to do this. Well, you got to do this, and I was like, oh, okay. So,
because we gotta.
Yeah. So we spent pretty much all the extra capital we had in our pockets and put it all towards we gotta. And then we realized very fast,
we shouldn't have.
We shouldn't have at any of these. So I had a lot of phone calls going, hey, contracts for how long? 6 months? Okay, we will not be renewing. And I had probably 20 conversations. And so to this point now, to the day, we're like, hey, before we sign anything, you can feign death.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's an emergency, gotta go. But we always talk about it with each other before we go, hey, what does that even look like? And the products we did get, because a lot of it were bigger corporate stuff, it was heartless. It was just like, this is not good. It was like, this is so good. I was like, no, it's not. It's really
and if you can't very quickly see the return on investment, I think that's huge for many that are looking at a company like y'all's that are looking at, okay, if somebody right now, they're listening and they're a small business, and obviously this is not just playing in Yuba or Sutter County, but
just
small business in general, and they're popping onto their website, and there's no storytelling. I feel like when you click on their website, it should be like opening a good book. You should know what you're getting into. You should have options, and it should be clean and simple, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that is the best landing page, if you would. If somebody's clicking onto their homepage right now in their business, and there's 17 different tabs, and every tab has a drop down, and you scroll, and it takes 30 minutes to get to the bottom, and they're a business owner and they're watching this, where do they start? Is it just, hey, give Jake and Cameo a call at Electric Playground, or is there kind of a roadmap? Is there what does that look like? What does that person do?
Well, the first step, I'd say always give us a call.
Yeah.
Because what we do best is build websites, and what you do best is your job and your service.
Yeah.
If you're an AC technician, you're going to make more money doing that
Yeah.
than building your website.
Absolutely.
And you're going to do a better job at it, too.
100%.
So what I like to tell people about websites is the look is really important, but that's not the only important thing. To me, the words are the most important thing, because if we think about how we shop online, we look for things online, a lot of it's going to be on the search pages,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
The results. So how do we show up in the results? For me, that's 80% of why we're building a website.
Yeah.
Right? So it's all about what your website says. And unfortunately, a lot of times you look at services and industries, they're not saying the right things, and they're not saying it enough.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say you're in lending, right? Let's say you work specifically with seniors. But if your website doesn't say seniors or say seniors enough, that's not going to help.
Yeah.
It's not going to show them results. If there's someone in the military looking for someone with that type of specific background for lending, they're not going to find you. They're going to find someone else who's really specific on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Specifics. Yeah, specifics are everything. When you were getting the coffee shop off the ground, what was one of your, and you just kind of alluded to it, but what was one of your biggest epiphanies of, from a marketing standpoint, I probably shouldn't have done this, but I probably should have done that. Now that you guys are, how many years in?
7 this year.
It's awesome.
Yellow Pages. Actually, we never did Yellow Pages.
You could have worked with Cameo.
No. The reason we didn't do it. Wow, being nice. Yellow Pages. They're like, we'll get your phone number and all of the phone books. The guy who came and sold it was like, we'll get your phone number and all of the phone books. And I'm like, but I've got my cell phone. But phone books are important because everyone's gonna have them. I'm like, I don't think they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. No, I don't think so.
Yep.
So that was something I was like, yeah. To me, it was, if I wasn't going to use it, if I'm looking for somebody, what would I do?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to look online.
Absolutely.
So we hit social media hard, and we hit just community development hard. It's where we were doing a lot of events and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been hard to get those events back up because when COVID hit, most of the people that were coming to the events either moved out of the area or became super scared. And so we started doing trivia nights back as soon as we could, empty rooms. And I was like, we did it 5 times. I was like, we got one person.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
That's my Thursday night. And so I'm happy other places are starting to do that stuff. But I mean, a lot of it's give and take. You don't know what you don't know until you give it a shot.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's personability. If people can't relate to you and they can't relate to your product, like you were saying, like if they go on there and they're looking for, I want my mom to go into this senior home. And they're like, how do you really care for seniors? And they're going to be looking for the emphasis of that care on that senior home. If that doesn't show through, that person's going to go, nope, another site. And they're going to swipe it.
But that doesn't mean they don't have it. It just means they didn't effectively put it on their website.
100%.
They may have the best one there ever was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they did the job of getting them to their page, right? And then it's a client capture standpoint. How can you actually turn a client from that? Where are you wanting your business to go? I mean, every business has all the ascension in mind. Where are you guys wanting to take? I love that you're already talking generationally. You're already talking about training Yo's son. That's incredible. Where do you see the business in 5 to 10 years? How do you want to ascend?
Yeah, I can already see a lot of the growth in the past year. Cameo's been putting a lot of time and work on the inside of the business and how it's functioning. So we just see having more employees, giving more opportunities locally.
Absolutely.
We would like to drive that farther nationally and start giving more opportunities to developers and just kind of build our network.
Yeah.
Right now, the farthest client we have is in Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Which is he does titles.
Awesome.
Yep. But our goal is to just grow out more nationwide and then just kind of build our network.
Have you asked that gentleman, that woman, or that gentleman how they found you guys?
Oh, absolutely. He Google searched web design, and he found us at the top.
And
That's
he searched
beautiful.
it from Pennsylvania?
He searched it from Pennsylvania.
Wow.
See?
Because
Yeah.
when he looked at web design,
Reach.
he must have looked up something specific that landed on my webpage.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
then we
yeah.
make sure that we're very specific
Yeah.
on what we do.
On the
if
SEO.
We do web design. There's a page specifically for web design where nothing else is really muddying that water.
Yeah. Sure.
That way it gets a chance to show up in results. And we can see when
awesome.
we do our analytics on our website that our homepage is not the highest traffic page on our website. It's the web design. So people are actually showing up in search results and bypassing that homepage because of how strong the SEO is on there.
Curious question.
Awesome.
As we become more technologically advanced and as businesses continue to grow in that regard, do you see, because I've had plenty of conversations with people in this, do you see brick and mortar just dissipating?
No.
Well, yeah, let's just curious your thoughts on it, because they're
Well, community is important. People are important in every aspect of our life. If you're sick, if you don't have people near you, but they're telling you how to get better and giving you medication, your chances of recovery are a lot lower. You know, people just being in a room, it's good for our health. And I don't think that'll ever go away. I think how we get to that square is going to be a little bit different. But I think that we're always going to have those brick and mortars. And I think it's just important to be able to get into the new town hall as well as be on the old one. So if you're in a coffee shop downtown, it's important to be there. But it's also important to be online so that if someone's traveling through, they can find you.
absolutely.
Yeah. I think brick and mortar, it would never go anywhere.
From a coffee shop, it can't go anywhere, right? At least it better not. I think it's just a matter of how can you, in a completely digital space, it's that much easier to not go brick and mortar. Lending is kind of that juxtaposition of, I started in lending in 18, and obviously right there in the middle of my early 6-year career so far in lending is COVID,
Yeah.
and then there's 2 years of don't see anyone in person. So we had to lean into the technology.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I have my roots here in Yuba and Sutter County, because we are like, while we are leaning in to technology, we're also still a little old school, and I work well with old school.
Yeah.
Like if I have a client that's like, and this is a regular conversation. If somebody's like, I've spoken to 3 or 4 lenders over the last couple of weeks, and I'm just trying to get an idea, and I can hear in their voice that they're frustrated and they're just looking at a lot of stuff online. If I just get to say, hey, what time are you off work? I'm off at 3 o'clock. You want to pop by my office? And I'll make sure that everything just makes stupid amount of sense.
Sure.
And then they pause and they say, I would love that. Boom. My rate could probably be an eighth or a quarter worse than somebody else's, but I'm going to win that client because I knew to take the time, extend the olive branch, and actually invite them to the table, right? So if you can, if you're a small business, if you have the magic and the opportunity of being able to be face to face, take every advantage of that.
Absolutely. Well, the only reason I bring up the question in that regard is not because I disagree with either one of you. I actually think it's important. We do need community 100%. But when we start looking at how generations are shifting, where I remember when I played video games, I was over at your house, right? And we were on the floor till like 2 a.m. playing a video game, right? I didn't have the ability to pull up a Discord and talk to a guy in Germany and start playing with 300 people, 3,000 people, 100. Like that. I didn't have the ability to go, hey, Alexa, I need bread, ordering bread. And then the next day I wake up, bread's at my doorstep. So the only reason I'm asking it isn't to glorify it at all, because I believe the human condition, we need community. We're communal beings, absolutely. But I do think to not dialogue in the changing of the tides.
No, it's a great question.
It's ignorant, yeah.
You're wondering, where are we going?
Yeah.
If brick and mortar's still there, I mean, what's it going to look like?
Yeah, and I think it'll be an adaptation. I think it'll be people will actively be going somewhere because they want to go there. It won't be that gotcha of like, hey, we've got X, Y, and Z special. It's gonna be like, you can still have that, but people are going to want to go to a place because they like the place, not because they like the product. Because if they can get the product online, X, Y, and Z, it's more ambiance in my mind. Ambiance and product have to kind of match, right? They both have to be good, but it's got to be a whole experience for people, and we're starting to see that more in other things.
Yeah, I like to think about this
Well
a
said.
lot, to think about where we're going to go.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to take a look back at where we've been and just looking at like transportation. If you look at transportation, where we were at 2,000 years ago, right? And then fast forward 1,000 years from there, we're in the same position. Let's fast forward 500 years from there.
Yeah.
Same position, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's look back in the past 100 years, right? Completely different game because something changed in humankind. Our growth, our ability to overcome challenges. Challenges don't exist to us anymore. We just need different solutions. If you look at that same thing for communication, like to get a letter to New York 100 years ago was a challenge, right? Pony Express, whatever you had to do to get it over there. To get a message over there now, I can say something to my phone without even picking it up, and you're going to hear it, right? But let's take it a step farther. 1 year ago, we were able to talk to each other in English, right? Now I can call someone in China. It's actually going to translate my voice into Chinese, and when they talk, it's going to translate it back into English.
Which is awesome.
That just broke the barrier, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because our whole world has been separated by countries, by the continents, by the languages, right? And that's really, it's going to change so much. Because of that happening, let's see where we are in another year.
Oh, yeah.
5 years. We're not looking 1,000 years in the future. We're not looking 100 years. So the same thing with the work and how we're taking our journeys. VR, I think, is going to take over the web design. I'm going to have to relearn how to design websites because there's already models where people put on glasses like yours, sit in a room, they see everything, but then now they see a screen. Then they see another screen and see one here. They can move it around like Iron Man. Their workspace is just completely optimized. They can put canceling in. They can stand in a broom closet and have more options and resources than someone standing in a whole facility.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's going to change the game, and I think to see where it's going to go.
Oh, and I agree with you. I think it's great to look at the advancements that we have and the capabilities. It's absolutely amazing. But the question that always goes in my mind is, when are we losing ourselves in the technology? So I remember I read an article, and dude, and I'm pro everything. I have a freaking Prius. Like I'm like, hey, let's let technology drive my car for me. I'm all about that stuff.
Oh, this is my favorite conversation. I love this.
Okay, good.
I'm just looking forward to being able to leave a good restaurant in Sacramento and just say, "Hey, car, take me home," and pass out for 45 minutes, and hopefully not wake up in front of Jesus. Like I want to make it home. Like, get me there.
Car,
we're
take me home.
What? We're 10 years from that, maybe.
No, we've had infrastructure for a while.
I know, but like mainstream. My 2017 Denali isn't going to get me home from Sacramento, bro.
Do you know why they haven't? At least one of the reasons that I've heard, and I could be wrong on this, but one of the reasons I've heard that they haven't done it is because of all of the truck driver jobs that are there.
Yeah,
that's over 400,000 jobs that are gone overnight if they get auto drive, and then those things also can't understand the roads, the quality, the ice. Yeah, you know, they'll be able to go from point to point, maybe on long stretches, but there's still areas that you need the human.
San Francisco, it is one of the pilot towns. So if you go to San Fran and you want to get in a driverless car, you can.
I did in San Diego. That was a trip. But
what they're learning in the pilot towns is like the problems that the self-driving cars are coming in front of. A lot of it was like emergency issues. Like if there was a fire truck trying to get to a fire and that car's right there, it's stalling. It didn't, like just a year ago, it didn't understand how to get out of the way of the fire truck so it get to the emergency. And that caused a lot more issues. And that right there, I think, set it back another year or two. Because
Makes sense.
It's all about doing the safety.
Yeah, it's trial.
And I want to go back to your question where you asked, when do we start losing ourselves to the technology?
Yes.
Right? And I want to kind of shout out my man, Elon Musk, because I think we're going to go symbiotic. Yeah. I think that we're getting AI. We're having the ability to have a lot of calculations, problem, solution solved. But the biggest issue is ourselves. Our output as human beings is really slow. Yeah. Like if you compared us to a computer, we could take all the information AI gives us, but it's not going to output. Yeah. So I think technology is going to get to a point to where we have a faster output, a faster input, and then we can use AI as more of a tool. Because like, let's say we want to be a surgeon. That usually takes 10 years. Yeah. Maybe now it takes 2 years. But now that 2-year surgeon has 40 years of expertise, and he can't make a mistake using AI because it's going to be watching with him. So, you know what I mean? So I feel like just give us about 5 years and then think back to this conversation and what we're shooting out there, because it's all going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, so the story I was going to say before Cameron wanted to drive in a driverless car was...
I want that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want you to...
It's one of us in here.
I want you to take naps. So so I remember this was, 8 years ago. It was just crazy. 8 years ago, there was a Wired magazine in one of the break rooms at the hospital, and I opened it up, and it said, "Too much tech, slowly killing us. And I was like, this is an interesting art. I was like, I'm down to read it. And so it was 8 pages. And they started talking about people actually going out into nature to reset and trying to pull back from how much they're in technology. People were literally seeing screens while they were sleeping because they were around tech so much. They're having issues. That anytime they would hear their phone go off, they got panic attacks and they were stressed out and they were freaking out. And so, you can't tell me being in here, your phone's off first. You realize, oh man, I missed that there isn't a little bit of panic there, right? And so they were literally taking these people out and saying, all right, take this grape, hold it in your hands, feel the skin, take a bite into it. Don't just what does it taste like? And having them write with pen and paper, write out. And so this was something they were having to do 8 years ago because people were feeling overwhelmed with technology. So to me, that's the conversation where I'm at. Like, I see it as incredible. And our bodies are so adaptable to so many things, but we still have the phrase, hey, go touch grass. Hey, bro, you've been on way too long. Go touch grass. So I still think that we haven't learned our own limitations. And I love Elon Musk because he's pushing all those limitations. But at the same time,
Wally,
it comes to the individual to kind of go like, okay, time out. I've been on my electronics for 12 hours today.
Yeah.
I have not seen the sun other than through the window.
Yeah.
Is this what I want for my life? So that's kind of where I'm at on it. I look at it as something that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I use AI all the time. I have people go, hey, I need a form for so-and-so. Hey, ChatGPT, I need a form for blank blank with such and such. Oh, blank, here you go. Send. There you go. Oh, thanks. It's perfect. Great. And I move on. Like it saved me
you have to.
hundreds of hours helping people.
You've got to be able to lean into tech. You have to be able to lean into tech. I'll speak on it and then give Jake the floor. I think you have to be able to lean into tech, not fear where we're going, but stay grounded in reality. I mean, because very quickly we can allow the world to turn into Ready Player One.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Truly. That's a little it's a little eerie how much we can rely on it because I said Wally while you were talking. I'm thinking of like everybody in their cars or in their little buggies. Oh, his is blue. Boop 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 boop. An insta gratification.
Yeah.
AI ran world. Is it good for our health? Is it good for our physical health? No. Again, more reliance on tech means more sedentary bodies. More sedentary bodies leads to literally like 95% of the diseases out there.
Yeah.
Which will be taking us out sooner. So what does tech matter if we're not living full lives? Yeah. So I think the magic is in the middle, right?
Oh, I agree.
Magic is to be able to adapt, see it as a tool, right? Not everything, a tool to be used.
I see you as a tool.
Thank you. I love you. That was good. That was good. I'm surprised when you said, or one of you guys said like Iron Man. Who did it before Iron Man? Minority Report. Remember on Minority Report? And they're like, vroom, 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 vroom. I was like, yeah, thank you. I was like, Iron Man. I was like, no, come on, let's go back a little bit more. But no, do you agree with that? The magic's in the middle. Being able to learn from AI, be able to adapt, but as Joe said, be able to still touch the grass, keep a pulse on reality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it comes down to the family values. Like all three of us are fathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're teaching in our household like how to be a man, how to be around your family, how to act in the community. And so the same thing with technology. We need to teach our kids. This is something that you can use, but it can also take advantage of you. It can waste your time. So it's important to know how we use technology. Me myself, I found myself getting really heavy in social media. And I could feel that serotonin. Every time I hit 10,000 on a views on a video, I felt the serotonin.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I decided to take it off my phone. And I am reading more. I am going out on my bike more. I'm finding things to do around my house that I didn't know I had. I'm like, I got a switch here? What is this?
There's a light in this room?
What the?
Babe,
when you put a light in the closet, this is awesome. Boop, 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 boop.
So I try to breathe that into the kids too. I challenge them, take the dogs for a walk, stay on top of your chores. And they see me. They see how much I spend time on the computer. I don't have a computer at home. I think that would be surprising for a lot of people.
No, it's not.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe surprising, but that's awesome.
I don't have a coffee maker at my house.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, I have to do a whole system. I'll go to the coffee shop to get it because I will. Oh, it's work. When it relates to work, whatever it is, you need to have a break from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for me personally, getting out to the outdoors is huge. You know, riding the bikes, going out to the beach. We've got such a beautiful area. Fishing, I'm huge on fishing.
Yeah.
So I think as long as we teach those values to our kids and teach them how to use technology, I think we have a really bright future. And we have a lot of really smart kids out there. I get impressed by my kids all the time on how smart they are. They see things in a different perspective. I've never seen it before. It's beautiful. I think they're going to be great, and I think they're really going to impress us on how they use technology.
All right.
Couldn't agree more.
And I absolutely 100% agree with you. The reason I'm smiling and the reason because what you just said, with the evolution of technology and how everything's advancing, and I agree the future's the brightest. What I think we're going to get to a point in society is we're going to look at a person, we're going to be able to go, hey, we need to know your personality type, we need to know how you learn, and then we're going to have the ability to go, what do you want to do? Done. Poof. And then I'll give them custom sections to be able to start, this is what I'm pursuing for. And if they go, you know what, I realize I don't like this, and then be able to shift and change.
Yeah. Like an individualized IEP, like an individualized education plan based on a person's, how they tested on this or how they learn. How incredible would that be from an educational standpoint?
That'd be really incredible.
Well, think about it. If you're a 5-year-old and you're, I want to be an astronaut. The only reason you ever stop thinking about being an astronaut isn't because you don't want to. It's because reality hits you. You start seeing how stressed adults are. You start thinking about money. You start thinking about all of these little things that reality is. You can leverage those things, but you don't get the maturity until you're older. Imagine if you were younger and all of those issues just kind of weren't there. And now you're able to focus, this is really what I want to do. And, some questions were asked and stuff, and you were able to pursue it. And then it just shifted with you. Because in the end, you're still going to have to learn the basics.
Sure.
If you're going to the moon or if you're opening up a business, you still need to do basic math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Correct.
So the question I had for you is education now, as a parent, how do you think technology can improve how kids learn now?
Wow. So one of our kids is in homeschool.
Awesome.
He does visions. And how he was kind of like, he wasn't very interested in school. He would get a lot of work, and he wouldn't try to figure out how to get the answers to things. But with AI and with the way technology is going, he has an easier way to learn the answers to things. And he's got aids now. He's a lot more involved. He even watches YouTube to understand how to do things. He watched YouTube to learn to play classical piano and write piano.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
So the technology, I think it's just really, it does really help him grow.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed as a parent, there's times when my kids will get overstimulated with something, and I'm like, yo, hey, unplug. It's time to do something.
Touch some grass.
Right. And then there's other times.
Touch some grass.
I love that term. I love that term.
I always love when I'm reading comments. It's like, yo, man, chill, touch grass. I'm like, all right, I got it. But I'll notice when my kids get overstimulated, and I'm like, hey, I love you. You're done. You got your chores you have to do. You've got X, Y, and Z you're going to do. And then at that point, occupy your time. So I'm a huge component in letting kids occupy their own time. Mm-hmm. I don't need television to occupy their time. I don't need video games, but I want them to be doing something that they like. So one of my kids he's drawing all the time. We were watching a movie. So we started watching through the X-Men movies with the kids, and I forgot how campy and fun they are. But one of them is like, okay, cool. And he's just sitting there watching it, but he's drawing the entire time, and he is having just an absolute blast doing that. And so,
who did he draw? Sorry. Who did he draw?
No. And had nothing to do with what he saw.
Got it.
I mean, nothing on the television. It just didn't excite him.
Got it.
But, I look at it going, okay, he's still part of the family. He's there. He's plugged in, but it's not plugged in. It's now doing something that's different. And so I look at it going, if we have the ability for us to be able to allow each other to occupy the same space and operate how we're supposed to operate without any judgment, I think it actually creates a better future for everyone. Because I easily could have been like, this is family time. You need to stop drawing. It's like, he doesn't care about the movie. He wants to draw, but he wants to be around the family.
Correct.
Let him be.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing comes to technology, right? It's like, no, we can all be in the same room. And think about it. Right now, we could all pull out our phone or a laptop, and all of us could do work. I could work on doing coffee sales. Mm-hmm. You could literally be working on W-2s. You could be working on code, all from our right here, and still be in the same room listening to some music and be like, bro, that music's so good, right? Mm-hmm. And go right back into our work. I think that we like to separate everything into kind of groups because it's easier for us to optimize. But I think that the future is going to be us all being individuals, truly being able to pursue what we love and also be in community. And so that's why when it comes to the business stuff, I ask the questions because it's not like a one-stop shop, right? Coffee, I can do that, but I got plenty of people go, I don't drink coffee. Oh, we've got tea and lemonade. Oh, okay. But if we get into the tech and we get into education and you start seeing how everything changes, business is going to have to adjust to that too.
The fact that you didn't mention Yale's mint hot chocolate is a little surprising because it's just so good.
You know what?
Just saying.
You're
this winter, Steelhouse Coffee. Mention this. I'll pay for it.
All right, whatever.
It's on Cameron.
It's on me. It's on me. It's not on me, but it's on me.
Not yet. All right. Jake, any other thoughts or questions that you've got, or any thoughts that you've got, or any other news information we'll put out for Electric Playground? Any new news or anything coming out?
With us, we're really focused on, again, just building the websites, working with small businesses locally to help them grow. Helps our local economy to do that. Really, just keep an eye out for us. If you do have a small business and you're looking for some help, come to us.
Perfect. Well, I know plenty of small businesses that are people that are wanting to start up that are like, oh, I need a website. I'm like, oh, I know somebody. Yeah. They ask me, and I'm like, I don't have time. I would rather give them to somebody that is a father, a part of the community that 100%. Wants to grow the community and wants everybody to win. I think that's super admirable. So I appreciate all that you're doing, man. And you and Cameo are a power team.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be honest. If you guys don't know Cameo, when we first started the coffee shop, she'd come in and she was learning the guitar. And then she started performing with the guitar. She's the kind of person that no obstacle is too much. She will overcome it, and she will make it look effortless. And she's the kindest person to be around. And Jake, I haven't been around you a lot, but I can tell you guys are perfect for each other because I get that same sense.
Yeah.
And your family's probably richer for all of that. So I'm, super blessed that you were on the show. Blessed to know both of you. And you guys do richen our entire community. And it is better because you're here.
Yeah, Cameo, she is more than my better half. She's like my better 60, 70%.
I'm the same boat.
85, bro. Minimum.
I've always felt like I had the ability to come up with great ideas. I've never had the greatest ability to execute.
Sure.
But she really guides me. She helps me, challenges me to think of different things. She has amazing ideas too. And we're always just pushing each other to grow.
It's awesome.
Our relationship every day is getting stronger. We like to fish. We spend a lot of time outside. We have a lot of really thick conversations that sometimes don't mean anything. We just talk.
I love it.
But I'm just really appreciative for her. So if she's listening, I wouldn't be anywhere in my life without you. So thank you so much.
And that's called brownie points. Any of you here that are, that don't understand how to date somebody, compliment them.
Yep, that is.
And when I grow up, I want to be like Jake.
Same. Yeah, man. I'm blessed to know you personally. I'm beyond blessed to know you from work. Right now, I'm thinking of all the different sectors so far that I've worked with you at one capacity or another. I'm on a marketing flyer that you guys put together out in Plymouth Lake. I've seen you at multiple events when you guys were running audio and video for the Top Women of Real Estate. I see you at, chamber event after chamber event. There is not a business like y'all's that is more involved and intertwined in our local community. And again, like Joe said, like we are better because y'all have decided to put your roots down here. So you guys don't get to go anywhere. You guys are well loved, and you guys have absolutely my endorsement, my support, and cheers to what the future is going to bring you guys.
Thanks, brother.
You got it.
And I just want to touch on seeing you out in the community, the way you uphold yourself as a father, as a Christian, as a businessman. You are a role model, and I just appreciate you in the community as well. And Joe, you are such a strong father. I can tell. I see your kids. He's running the camera today. So if you guys are impressed on how this is working, I believe he's 8.
Yeah.
He's 8 years old.
Running the board.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of big things coming. So good job, dads.
Awesome.
Cheers. Likewise.
Hey, thanks for being on, bro.
Cheers.
Thank you for checking out the Cam and Joe Show.
If you guys are liking our content so far, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also listen to us on Spotify.